If you only know Virginia Giuffre from a photo in London in 2001 or a headline about Prince Andrew, you don't know enough. Virginia was a kid who survived serial abuse, a mother who built a family on the far side of the world, and a woman who forced some of the most powerful men alive to answer for what they did, or at least face the public. And in April 2025, at just 41 years old, she died at her farm in Western Australia. Her family announced it with utterly broken hearts, calling her a fierce warrior whose children were the light of her life. This is the story of a life, but also of a system, political, legal, and cultural, that failed her and so many girls like her, then kept failing them even when the truth came out. The kid they counted out. Virginia Louise Roberts was born in 1983 in California and raised in Florida. She described being molested by a family friend at 7, then bouncing between the streets, foster homes, and worse, at one point under the control of Miami trafficker Ron Eppinger. She was trying to put her life together when she reconnected with her father and took a job at Mar-a-Lago, where he worked maintenance. In 2000, Ghislaine Maxwell approached the teenager and dangled a job with Jeffrey Epstein. The first massage at Epstein's Palm Beach mansion set the pattern. Virginia later said she was groomed, trafficked, and passed around like a platter of fruit to Epstein's associates. Among the powerful names she spoke out about was Prince Andrew. That London snapshot, Virginia, 17 years old, with Andrew and Maxwell, became a symbol of how high this reached. Andrew denied wrongdoing but settled her civil suit in 2022 and pledged support for trafficking survivors without admitting liability. Fighting a machine designed to outlast you. For years, the US justice system protected Epstein more than it protected girls. In 2008, federal prosecutors under Alexander Acosta cut Epstein a secret non-prosecution deal without telling victims. Later, ruled a violation of the Federal Crime Victim Rights Act. Virginia refused to be erased. She filed suits, gave sworn statements, launched a survivor nonprofit, and kept telling the truth, even when it cost her the marriage that became another battlefield. After fleeing Epstein's orbit, Virginia married Robert Giuffre and moved to Australia, raising 3 kids and trying to live quietly for a time. But by 2023-2024, the marriage had broken down, and in early 2025, she publicly alleged years of domestic abuse. Her family told reporters she was separated from Robert and that he had been physically violent, including a January incident during a child's birthday gathering that they said left her with a cracked sternum and a perforated eye. She was hospitalized, they said, though police did not charge him in that report. Robert, through counsel, offered no comment. In February 2025, Robert filed a family violence restraining order that, according to Virginia's family, gave him primary custody and barred Virginia from contacting their children for months. To Virginia's brother, Sky, it felt like a procedural race. He just put his in place first. He beat her to the punch. The order cut deepest where Virginia was strongest, as a mother. On February 2nd, she was accused of breaching the order by texting Robert, per local reporting. A hearing was set. In early April, Virginia issued a public statement about the alleged abuse and why she would not be silent anymore. I was able to fight back against Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, who abused and trafficked me. But I was unable to escape the domestic violence in my marriage until recently. She closed with, "I have faith that justice will prevail." The crash, the Instagram, and the dispute. Late March brought another blow for Virginia. She posted on Instagram from a hospital bed, claiming she'd been in a bus crash and was in kidney failure with days to live. Her family later said the post wasn't meant to be public, while police described it as only a minor accident with no known injuries. Whether serious or not, the episode added medical fear and public scrutiny to the custody crisis that was already consuming her. On March 22nd, she wrote, "My beautiful babies have no clue how much I love them, and they're being poisoned with lies. I miss them so very much." The day she died. Virginia was found dead at her farm north of Perth on Friday, April 25th, 2025. Her family said plainly that she lost her life to suicide. They remembered a woman who was deeply loving, wise, and funny, who adored her children and many animals, and who became a beacon for survivors, even while carrying more than most people can imagine. There is still so much we do not know about her final hours. But there is a lot we do know about the months before: a marriage in pieces, allegations of serious domestic violence she said she endured for years, a restraining order that barred her from contact with the kids that she lived for, and an upcoming court fight. Her family said simply it had become too much to carry. Trump, power, and the politics that used her name. Even after her death, Virginia's name was treated like a political prop. In July, President Trump responded to a question by saying Epstein had stolen Virginia from Mar-a-Lago. Her family called it shocking, adding, "We and the public are asking for answers. Survivors deserve this." This was part of the pattern. When survivors beg for transparency, release the Epstein files, stop cutting deals for the well-connected, they get spin, deflection, or outright dismissal. Virginia understood this better than anyone. After Epstein died in custody in 2019, she stood in court and reminded the world he did not act alone. The point was never one man. It was the network, the enablers, and the people who looked away because it was easier. The book, the context, the fight over her legacy. After she died, her upcoming memoir, Nobody's Girl, became another flashpoint. Her family objected to publishing an out-of-date portrait of her marriage. The publisher later agreed to add a foreword noting the changes in her life and the allegations that became public in her final months. What the last week tells us. It's impossible to read the timeline and miss the through line. Separation from her children was the deepest wound. A restraining order cut off contact. An alleged breach by text became another legal landmine. Her own health scare publicly unraveled online. Those who loved her say the system failed again, this time in family court. And if you zoom out, it feels like an echo of the earlier betrayal. Powerful men protected, survivors told to wait their turn, and then told their turn was never coming. A final word on justice. We'll keep hearing that it's complicated. Virginia changed the world because she refused to shut up. She did it for her kids. She did it for the girls who never got away. She did it even when it cost her everything. And in the end, the least that we can do is tell her story, including the parts that are hard to hear. Her family called her deeply loving, wise, and funny. They're right. She was also right about Epstein, about power, about what it takes to hold the rich and connected to account. The reckoning didn't end with Epstein. It didn't end with Andrew. It shouldn't end with Virginia. Unseal the files, stop the deals, center the survivors. If you want to know more about injustices all over this Epstein case, check out every Epstein video I've done because there is a lot of it. Check out my timeline on Trump and Epstein. Turns out they were friends for decades. Wow. Bye.